Alright, well, hello, ladies and gentlemen, and good afternoon, as we are here for round 5, Spain, of the Lys Esports F1 series. This is the F2 guys for their round 5 race tonight, and I'll get the point standings up here. No, that's the wrong one. Alright. So, as of Baku, point standings are, we got Pat Labousse, who is first in the points in the Williams with 71. We have Kev, who's in the Mercedes and second with 64, so that's 7 points is all that separates first and second. We got Chris, who's in third on 58 points. Then fourth is Galileo, which I don't know if he's here yet. He's not in here yet. He is on 38 points and in fourth. And then we have Nicholas, or Skid, which is right here. He's fifth in the points with 32. Then we got Jan in the Ferrari. He is sixth in the points with 30. Then we got Treo. Treo is not in yet. Nope, Treo's not here yet. He's seventh in the points on 19. Then we got Vic, who wasn't here last week. He's right here. He wasn't here last week. He's here this week. He's eighth in the points on 15. Then you got Purple Haze, who is 9th on 14. Then we got Lashamu, who is 10th with 14. So 9th and 10th are tied, 14 apiece. Then you got Spiffy, who is not here right now. I don't see him anywhere. And the other Haas. He is 11th with 8 points. You have Jan, the other Jan, in the Racing Point, which he's not here today. Killing for Cash is subbing for him. But he is tied for 11th with Spiffy on 8 points. Then we got Putsko is 13th with 7 points. And we got Tibbin, which I don't know if he's in here yet. I don't think Tibbin's in here. He is... Where's he at? Just lost him. He's 14th with 6 points. Then we got John, who's 15th. John's right here. He's 15th with 1 point. And we got Anthony, who is 16th with 1 point. So he's tied for 15th. Then we got Tipray, which is right... where did he go? I see him. There he is. He is tied for 15th, also with 1 point. We got Alex, who's not here racing. Luke hasn't joined yet. He's 19th. And Wolf Gaming, which is a new guy. I don't think he's in here yet either. There's Spiffy and Trail, so they've both showed up. Right now we got 19 drivers. So we got Pat, who's from F1. Pat Alboun, or Albin, if that's how you pronounce it in French, I'm not really for sure. but he's from F1. We have Loki in Alfa Romeo. He's the commentator for the F1 American League. He's racing tonight. We have JP, who's in the Ferrari in F1. He's racing for Alfa Romeo also tonight. And for some reason we got Alex in the Haas, which is wrong. Spiffy's supposed to be in the Haas. What car is Alex supposed to be in here? I don't think he's raced a race. Yeah, he hasn't raced a race. He's not even in the F2 or F1. So, okay, we gotta. Okay, there we go. Now we fixed it. Alex is in the Alfa Romeo, so Spiffy can get into the Haas now. Alright, now everything looks good. So I don't know if this is Alex's first race of the season for Alfa Romeo. I'm not really for sure, but we'll see what he can do as we got a newcomer. Well, not a newcomer to the league. He raced last year, but he hasn't raced yet this year, so this will be his first race. So hopefully we have a good race tonight. I know the race earlier today that we were in, the top 6 guys were all within 20 seconds of each other. I mean, I know the top 5 guys, we were all with pretty much under a blanket of each other. And if Heike didn't have his break a front wing on the first lap and have to pit early, you could have put all 6 of us under a blanket. So I mean, it was really close and really good action. Anybody that made a mistake was going to lose some spots. So hopefully the racing can be action packed tonight and close like it was earlier today. We are good to go, and we'll get qualifying underway here. as we just wait for everybody to load in here. And there we go. So 18 minutes are on the clock. See what everybody's fit. Everyone's got softs on except for Placo. He's on mediums. And we'll see who comes out first. So Pat's put on hards. We got Chris on his put on mediums. Trejo's put on mediums. Pasco's put on mediums. I'd imagine. Who was that? That was down there that left. Okay, there's Purple Haze going out. Tenny going out. Platko's out. So Platko's the first guy out. So we'll go on board with him. Let's see what he turns for a lap here. Mediums. Kev's fitted the hard tires also. Oh, his Plusco tires aren't completely warmed up yet and runs a little wide there. This comes down to turn 10, the hairpin turn. Then the dreaded turn 11 here. It's coming up. This little kickback makes the rear end really light and sends you straight off to the left into the gravel. I had problems with it earlier today. I know Mick had problems with it. Couple guys had problems with it earlier today. But we'll go on board with Fusco as he starts his first flying lap. Come down to turn 1. About 70 meter board, he hits the brakes. First sector is a 22.8. That's a decent lap for sector 1. 21.8. Let's see what he sets for sector 2. Should be around like a 50 to 51. Oh, the Ferrari's lost it out of turn 8 there. Playing with the throttle on turn 9. Or back end wants to get loose. The turn 10, the hairpin turn. Slowest turn on the here at Barcelona, at Catalunya. 11 and 12. Now 13, 14, and 15, and then you got 16 went up. Like a decent lap here. 121.7. Who's next here? Purple Haze coming around the final bend. And Tenny runs a 120.5. Purple Haze runs a 121.1 on softs. Oh, I just missed. Who was that? Trejo runs a 120.5 on medium, so it's a good lap by him. So Ferrari goes out. We got Killing Cash retiring. We just seen him wreck there. Who's close to the end? Vic is in the Williams. He's on mediums. Let's see what he sets for a lap time. Right now, pole's on 120.5. At the final corner, 121.2 puts him fourth fastest. He's coming off turn 9. Jan's coming through 11 and 12. He's got a Toro Rosso in front of him. So I don't know if that's... I'm not really sure who that is. And to the top of the board with a 119.8 for Jan. Let's see who else is on a flyer. Alex is on a... Well, Alex was on a flyer, but he decides to duck down pit road. Nicholas, or Skid, decides he puts in a 4th fastest time on softs at a 1:21.0. Let's see. Michoud, he's on a 2nd flyer. He was 29 seconds faster than his previous time. So he's got a good time going. Stay on board. I like this camera angle. We should stay with us, but we'll switch on board with him. (14 and 15), the little chicane. It's kind of like you just throw the rear end at it. Final corner, he's going to run a 1:24.3. Good lap, good lap. So, let's see. JP's in turn 3. Where's Kev at? Kev's in turn 9, so Kev's ahead of JP. So we'll go on board with Kev here as Vic gets out of the way and takes the MotoGP course. Kev's on the hard, so we'll see what he sets for a lap time on these hards. I ran the hards earlier today, and they were anywhere from a second slower to about a second and a half slower. And he runs a 1:21.3. Ain't too bad of a lap. That's about where I was. So I think I was like a 1:21.1. We'll go back on board with JP, and he sets 4th fastest on the hards with a 1:20.6. Really good lap there. Let's see. Kev's still on it. He's 3/10 up in sector 1. Pat's out, so let's see where's Pat at here. Pat's coming through sector 1. So we'll stay on board with Pat here, the points leader. See how his car handles here through 6 and 7. Nice and easy. No oversteer there. Turn 9. The rear end gets loose on him in the grass. That will be a throwaway lap. Kev comes off the final corner. And a 1:20.8. Good lap for Kev on those hards. Feels like the hards get faster as you get more laps on those tires. The more you run them, the faster they get. It's like the first couple of laps, they're not fast at all. Got Spiffy here. He's on soft, so we'll see what he can run. He's got a Ferrari in front of him, which I'd imagine that's Jan on an out lap. Red Bull right behind him. I don't know who the Red Bull is behind him, but he was getting a nice slipstream. Spiffy bails out of it. So it wasn't temporary, so it must have been Purple Haze. Yep. Purple Haze is on an out lap. Oh, this lap's not going to be very good for Spiffy because he backed out of the run. And he's going to dive into the pits. So we got Alex, who's coming up turn 9. And that back end just wants to snap on you. And we got Chris right behind him. So we'll stay on board with Alex here in the Alfa Romeo. Comes up through 11 and 12. Oh, you got the big sausage curve. Another sausage curve, and that's illegal. That's an invalid lap. We'll go on board with Chris here as he comes through 14 and 15. Up to 16. He's on medium, so we'll see what he sets for a lap time on mediums. It's a 1:20.2, second fastest on mediums. About 5-10, half a second off of the pole right now. Oh, let's see. Purple Haze is out on a flyer right now. He's coming to the end of his flyer on softs. I think Jan is right in front of him coming. Nope. The Ferrari went around the bullard on the pin entry. Purple Haze to the top of the board with a sauce with a 119.6. New pole run. Shamu's out. Just started a flyer. And this Racing Point. 6/10 up on his fastest lap, so got a good lap going through the first sectors. We'll see if he can keep it together. Eteni retires in 4th spot right now. So either that's a manual retire and he thinks that's a good lap, or he lost it somewhere and the crew's got some work to do. And there he's lost it off turn 9. The dreaded turn 9 claims it's, I don't know how many victims it's claimed. I know it's gotten me quite a few times. It got Pat earlier, but Pat kept it off the wall. Once he hit the grass, he kind of yanked it back to the left and sent it back across the track. But he kept it out of the wall, which is good for him. The shoe runs a 1:23.8. Made it a little faster, a little better lap time. Pat's on a flyer. He's got Loki right in front of me. Oh, we caught that. Loki was on an out lap, and Pat was on a flyer. So that will be, and I don't think Pat was too happy with Loki on that one. Kind of put his displeasure there. So, we'll go on board with Alex here. I don't know if we should stay on board with that with Loki and Pat with that little bit of disagreement there. Looked kind of like a little bit of road rage. Pat wasn't happy with Loki, but it's kind of understandable when Loki's on an out lap and Pat was on a flyer, as they both pit. We got 5 minutes to go in the session, and we got 6 guys now that haven't set a lap time. Oh, as Alex gets loose off turn 9, and the Red Bull right behind him. See what Alex sets, if he can set a lap time here on these softs. Nice and easy through the chicane. I'd say he lost a little bit of time on the exit there, but hey, good lap time. 1:21.1 puts him 9th fastest in the top 10. It's a good lap time. Trail retires. He was 3rd fastest. Kev's still in the pits. We got Skid out on a flyer. Alex. Vic goes 5th fastest with a 1:20.4. We caught right at the end. John, I think that said he was 9/10 slower than his fastest lap. He's 11th right now. Yep, he was 9/10 slower. Spiffy, who's 3/10 slower than his fast lap right now. So we got Pat. We got both Pats. Have not set a lap time. Killing for Cash, who wrecked off turn 5. I think it's turn 5. No, turn 7? Turn 7. The old 7 and 8 before you get to turn 9. Where Pat's coming up to. Turn 7 right here. Where it wants to send you to the left right there and into the Rolex wall. But we'll stay on board with Pat here. We'll see where he can, the points leader can throw a lap time in on these mediums. His last lap got compromised by Loki. Coming up to turn 9. He was pulling the old Tokyo drift through there. It was a nice save. Got a Red Bull up here and Tepre gets out of his way, goes in the pits. Alright. Williams is full song. We'll see what he does. He might have enough time to run this lap, but I don't think he's got enough time to do another one after he cools them stuff down. I don't know if Pat and Loki are going to get out. Skid sets fast lap with a 1:19.3 on those softs, so 3/10 faster than Purple Haze. It's a good lap time. Jan's out again on soft, so we'll see what he can set, because he's on a flyer too. Well, we're going to see what Pat sets right here. Jan goes to the board, goes to the top with a 1:19.3 with those softs. Pat runs a 1:19.9, goes fourth fastest on those mediums. Good run. Jan gets a 5-spot grid penalty for blocking. So that takes him from first to sixth now. That puts Skid back on top of the pole. So Skid, Hayes, Pat, Trejo, and Chris are all your top 5. As Kev sets 5th fastest. And with 50 seconds to go, we got Plaxico, who's, if he was on a flyer, he's not on a flyer now. We got Spiffy, who's on mediums now. He set his fastest lap on softs. Turn 3. Loki's out. Well, he's got 25 seconds to get around and get across the line to set a lap time. So we'll see what he can, if he's got enough time. He's got 15 seconds. Talking about getting down to crunch time here. 10, 9, 8. He got enough time. 5, 4, 3, 2. Oh, 3 seconds to go. He gets across the line. So he's got to make this count. .22.4 in sector 1. As I don't know who that was, but they just disappeared. Turn 9, nice and smooth, no oversteer. Turn 10. Turn 11. Kept it nice and straight. Turn 12. A long right-hander. Feels like it takes for days to get around that corner. 13. The chicane 14 and 15. That might be lap invalid. Cutting across those big sausage curbs. Comes across the line. Yes, it was. No, 11th fastest. With a 1:20.6. I don't think anybody's on a flyer. So Jan gets pole with a 1:19.3. Skid. Well, actually, Jan would have had pole, but he almost like Verstappen yesterday in the Mexico Grand Prix gets busted and takes a grid penalty of 5 for blocking. which we didn't catch that. So actually, Skid will start on pole. Purple Haze will be second. Pat will be third. Kev will be fourth. Trail will be fifth. Jan will be sixth. Chris will be seventh. Vic's eighth. Tinny's ninth. JP's 10th on hard, so he will be going the longest. Loki's 11th. Gets free choice of tires. First guy. Alex is 12th. John's 13th. Placo is 14th. Tepray's 15th. Les Chamy is 16th. Spiffy's 17th. Killing for Cash 18th. And Pat's 19th. And everybody from 11th on down gets a free choice of tires, whatever they want to start on. These guys all get to start on what they qualified. So the guys that start on softs will be pitting within about 5 to 6 laps. The guys on mediums can go about 12 to 14 laps. I mean, I made my mediums last 16 laps earlier today, depending on how aggressive they are with them. The hards, I've seen some people do 19, 20, 21 laps before they had to pit, so we'll have mixed strategies all over the place. So we got 5 red lights, and we're waiting for the players, and we're off. 5 red lights, and away we go. As Killing for Cash did not make the race. He lagged out. As Skid gets the run into turn 1 on Purple Haze. Oh, we got somebody in the background. I don't know who that was. That Jan? That was Jan that cut turn 3. Oh. We got action everywhere. Is that Vic? That was Vic. Vic was turned around. We got Kev down in 17th and 18th. So this ought to be a fun race to watch. Those two guys come from the back along with JP coming from the back. We got Pat up to 3rd. Trejo's 4th. Chris is 5th. Alex has moved up to 6th. New position change. That was gained 6 spots so far. Loki's gained 3. He's up to 7th. Tinny's 8th. He stayed. Jan's moved back up to 9th as he tries to make the move. Tinny break way too late. Loki somehow seen him and avoided him. Spiffy's up 6 spots and 11th. We got Pat, who started dead last. He's up to 12th. He's gained 7 spots. We got Kev, who's retired. So second place is retired from the race. Purple Haze has gotten the lead away from Skid. And we got another wreck somewhere here. Pat's off. Vic's in the pit, so I don't know if that's 5 seconds for speeding. But we'll go back up front here. We got Skid trying to run him down. 5/10 in between first and second. Another 6/10 to Pat. Kenny's got back by Loki. Les Chamy got around John. So the top 5 guys are all within, what, 2 seconds of each other? 2.5? 2 seconds. This Trejo got by Pat, but he out-braked himself. Pat says, thank you, I'll take that right back. Tepray is retired from the session, so I would imagine, yep, dreaded turn 9. Turn 9, yep, the old turn 9, got somebody. So that's 2 guys out of the race. Purple Haze is 1.3 seconds in front. Got Pat. DRS is enabled. As Pat lining up a move on Skid here. And he's on mediums, so he's going to go a lot longer. He's just kind of waiting for these softs guys to run out of tire, which is in about 4 or 5 laps. They will be screaming to get off these tires. Chris has spun it. Chris is wrecked. Does he got any front wing damage? I don't see any front wing damage. But he went from 5th down to 11th. And he's off in the grass again because his tires are still dirty. We'll go back up front here with Pat. As we got guys in the background off turn 9 getting all out of shape. Chris feathering it through turn 9. Purple Haze is 2 seconds clear of Skid. So Pat, if he can stay close to it, Skid off turn 16 here, get a good run, he should have DRS as he's gaining. Move's done pretty easily there. So makes it stick, as you see in the side mirror there. Ooh, Skid got on the curb there on turn 2, out of turn 2, and the back end stepped out and he had to catch it. Oh, Alex has spun. Alex got that curve and spun. And he's got no front wing. Well, he's got front wing, but he's got front wing damage. John's in the pits, which I would imagine that's a front wing. Yep. So Alex has dropped down to 10th. Spiffy is gotten around him there. In the grass, it looked like he made a pass in the dirt. Skid coming back on Pat, kind of. Jan's coming back on Trail here. Jan's looking for 4th. Come through the final corner. Trail dies for the pits after 3 laps. So I would imagine that's a 2-stopper for Trail. So he makes sure he doesn't speed in the pit lane. See what he goes on here. JP's gotten around the Shemu. And those are hards. Trail goes to hards. So that's 30 laps on hards. Well, 28. There's no way Trail can make hards last that long. As Loki pits also for hards. And Alex, they double stacked the box, and now Alex has got to wait. As now they got a new front. They got to change the front wing, get his tires out and ready. Long stop for Alex. He's down and away on hards, but these guys are going to have to pit one more time. I don't see them being able to go to the end on hards. It's a lot of laps on hards. Oh, as Lashmu got passed by Trail, I don't know if he just moved over and realized it wasn't his fight. Chris has gotten around his teammate. I don't know if that was a lag from Chris. Yeah, Chris is having issues with his internet connection again. Laggedy Chris is back. As he moves back up to 7th. So he's trying to make up for it. Tinny's in the pits. So Chris will move up to 6th on that. As all the soft runners are starting to come into the pits. So Pat on these mediums, is he gaining on Purple Haze? It does not look like he's gaining on Purple Haze. Purple Haze has got these softs hooked up. He's got a pretty good car today. Looking pretty good. Red Bull looking like Max Verstappen out there. Running with a chip on his shoulder. Turn 11. Made it through turn 11, turn 12. Now if you touch the inside curb, it will spin you out into the grass. and the leader's in the pits. So Pat will see that, and Pat will say, thank you, I will take the lead. As Skid stays out another lap. We got a yellow flag in Sector 2. Vic's got no front wing, so I'd imagine Vic lost it off turn 5 or turn 6. I would imagine he lost it off turn 6 and bit it. Hit the wall, the Rolex wall. Purple Haze is dropped down to 6th now as Chris gets by him. And that just confirms Purple Haze is on a 2-stop strategy because he went on mediums, so that tells me he'll go on mediums again. So right now Pat's sitting in the driver's seat because he's on mediums. And you got Skid in the background getting in the gravel trap. Nice and easy through turn 9. Make sure the back end was solid and didn't move around. So you got Jan and Skid on softs. And then you got Plesko and Chris on mediums. And you got Spiffy on mediums. So they're kind of sitting in the driver's seat. We'll see if Skid decides to dive down pit road and get off these softs. Or if he stays out another lap. And into pit road he goes. Make sure, see if he speeds. Does he get it down to 50 mile an hour? Yes, he does. Or 80 kilometers an hour. And he comes in and puts on mediums. Jan right behind him comes in, puts on mediums. So that tells me Purple Haze, Skid, and Jan are all to a 2-stop strategy as Chris and Plesko move up to 2nd and 3rd. So really, Chris would be in 2nd if he didn't make that mistake. They all get out in front of Spiffy here as Jan gets out in front of Spiffy. So they made a good... They tried to undercut Purple Haze, but it didn't work. But they're on 1 lap younger, fresher tires than Purple Haze. So we'll see at the end of the stint if they catch Purple Haze. Because Purple Haze was actually pulling away from them, even though he pitted a lap earlier than them. He had a nice car going. Nice run. Oh, let's see. Closest battle is Loki and Lachemieux. So we'll see as we come down to turn, what is this? 6? Turn 6. Oh, whoa! Lachemieux just put the brakes on. Kind of brake checked Loki, and Loki did his darndest to miss him. And didn't get any front wing damage. Trails all over the back of JP. Alex has retired, so I would imagine Alex caught either turn 11, turn 12, turn 9, or turn 7. JP goes ultra defensive against Trail. Trail's got the DRS. He's got no ERS. He's got 0%, 0. And he makes the job, he makes the move stick, as I think JP kind of gave him a break there. Oh, there was where Alex wrecked. Alex wrecked off turn 2. He caught the inside curve and it sent him right into the wall. So JP has not pitted yet. He's on 8-lap old hards and he's got front wing damage. So JP is going to be a little bit slower than these guys on fresher tires. His NT's gained on him now. He's only 8 tenths. Within 8 tenths. We got Chris, who's within 2 tenths of Platco 84 here for 2nd. Oh, and there was the turn, dreaded turn 11. Almost got Platco there. As you seen him head to the left there, and he had to slow down. He had to get off the throttle to catch the car. Mick had that issue earlier today. I think it got him twice. I know it got him at the end of the race. I think it was on the final lap, actually. Skid sets fast lap at a 1:23.1. Now you got Purple Haze. Has caught these guys. Much younger mediums. As you see, he loses the front downforce from the Toro Rosso. Does he make a move? No, he decides to stay behind. Let's go. Kind of trying to set him up. But while this is going on, Skid sees this, and Purple Haze is getting held up by the junior Red Bull team. Surprised there's no team. Surprised Christian Horner's not calling down, telling Toro Rosso to get out of the way. DRS as he gets a little loose on the back end there. Catches it. Does not make the dive bomb. Doesn't pull a Daniel Ricciardo. Oh, and the turn almost got Pasco twice in a row there as you see him get loose there. See Purple Haze get loose coming off turn 12 there. Now the Red Bull should get the Toro Rosso. Well, if he'd have got the drive off turn 15, but he didn't get the drive. And I don't think he got DRS for that either. Maybe he did get DRS. Because he's really gaining on him. Decides not to make the move. Kind of dummy move. He showed his wing in the side mirror. Kind of tried to scare Plesko into making a mistake. But Plesko wasn't having any of it. Turn 6. We'll come up to 7, where a lot of people have wrecked. Ooh! Let's go braked early. Purple Haze about ran in the back of me, and meanwhile, Skid has caught these guys. So Purple Haze's lead that he had is gone. It's diminished. The Toro Rosso has held him up so much that it's allowed Skid and Jan to gain on them. As Jan is gaining on him now too. We'll see if Purple Haze can get the run off turn 15 here. Much better line, much better line. He's actually going to make the move before they even get to the DRS zone. Good move. Skid should have DRS on Plesko because Purple Haze was ahead of him. And Plesko does not. He stayed in the slipstream of Purple Haze. That's what helped him against the Mercedes there. You see the rear tires just giving up on that Toro Rosso as it just moves around. So now Purple Haze is ahead as Spiffy's been passed by Tinney in the going into turn 1 as Spiffy tries to come back on him. So we got 6 lap old mediums versus 11 lap old mediums. Nothing doing. We'll go back up for 4th place here. So Skid's got DRS, but this DRS is really doesn't do you any good. It kind of just lets you get closer to the car in front, but it's really not a passing zone. I mean, unless you really want to throw it into turn 10 and risk taking you and the person out and you getting a penalty for the next race. Oh, Plesko kind of cut turn 15 there. Got yellow flags in sector 2. I don't know who that was. JP has caught Spiffy here. Oh, Skid not doing anything. JP trying to stay on Spiffy's rear end. Oh, you heard him have to get out of the throttle there. So it's Ferrari versus Ferrari motor, but look at the Ferrari in the straight line. JP just rockets by Spiffy like he's not even there. I think Spiffy's mediums have hit the cliff and they're gone. Here comes Loki on those hards. Skid and Jan. So Jan has caught Skid now because that Toro Rosso is holding people up as Purple Haze has gotten 3 seconds on him. As Trejo is on inters. Is that a glitch or is he really on? He's on inters. So I see no rain in sight, and he's on inters. And he's a ghost. So I don't know if he's lagged out of the session and he's just trying to rejoin now. But he's going to rejoin with a car that on the wrong tires. I see no rain in sight and sunshine, and he's on inters. And he's pitted. Chris is pitted. Chris goes to the hards. So Chris should be good to go to the end. And let's pray that Trejo comes in and puts on dry tires. There we go. He puts on softs. Pat's pitted also, and he's put on hard. So he's 2.4 seconds behind Purple Haze. So Purple Haze has came out. Spiffy gets a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. So Pat comes out second. So right now Chris is trying to gain time on the guys in first as Jan gets by Skid, as neither one of these guys have made it past Plexico, who's still on those mediums. So while this is all going on, Chris is just eating into their lead as he's only 15.6 seconds behind 5th spot. So the Toro Rosso kind of helping him out here, eating into, holding them up, because they still have to pit again. They will not be able to make it to the end of the race. Plexico finally dives it down pit road and lets these guys battle. So we'll go on board with the Mercedes here and see if he can gain on the Ferrari, but they both got DRS, so they kind of cancel each other out. We'll go on board with Chris here. He should get ahead of Plexico. Plexico goes to hards. Chris is by easily as he's just now leaving. So we'll go back on board with Skid here. JP gets by Plexico with those hards. He is not pitted, so he's going to go to about another 5 laps, 6 laps. 4 to 6 laps more for JP before he decides to peel off, and he'll probably go to mediums. So he'll be fast at the end of this race. Yeah, Loki, who got by him too. Loki's ran JP down, but we got to remember JP's got front wing damage, so he's a little bit slower than Loki. Spiffy is pitted and put on softs, so Spiffy's not going to the end. He's gonna have to make another pit stop. Pat will have to make another pit stop. John's gonna make another pit stop. Let's see who's all made pit stops. So JP has not made a pit stop, and Shamu has not made a pit stop. Vic's made 3, Trejo's made 3, and then everybody else is at 1. Loki's gotten around JP. Now there's a pretty view. On board of the front wing. Attini makes his second pit stop of the day, which tells me he's probably going to hards to go to the end of the race. And what did he put on? He put on another set of mediums. Yeah, okay, he can make it to the end on mediums. JP and Loki switch spots again. And this is 7 seconds behind Chris. We got Jan and Skid battling for the last podium spot here. Meanwhile, Purple Haze is just pulling the gap on Pat. And then another 3 seconds behind Pat is this battle. So this is 6 seconds behind the leader. Purple Haze sets another fast lap. Then you got Chris, who's 13 seconds behind these guys as Jan needs to get off the grass. Pat picks up a 3-second time penalty for probably corner cutting. So he's down in 11th, which is actually going to hurt him trying to get into 10th. Chris sets fast lap as Jan makes a mistake in turn 2 there. And Skid just rockets away. Let's Chris get closer. So Chris running by himself, he's putting in good fast laps on those hards. Loki's gotten back around JP. Plesko's in this battle. And now we got Trail flying as a ghost. He found Casper mode too. So as Casper goes, he kind of shocks, JP, and sends JP off, and then JP runs into the back of Plesko. So I don't know if that was the McLaren being so much faster and throwing the Ferrari for a loop there, but it messed JP all up, and you see with no front wing, he's now going to have to make a pit stop. He's now going to have to come off those hards and go on mediums. Now would be the time to do that, because the tires are dead, and now you have no front downforce with no front wing. You're just losing time. Chris sets another fast lap at a 1:22.7. So Chris is only 10 seconds behind Jan now, and here comes JP in the pits. Like I said, for a front wing change. And he should go to mediums. And that's what he does. Trejo gets a 5-second penalty for ignoring blue flags, well, his ghost does. JP should come out. Where's John at? John's in the pit, so JP should come out in 10th. John pits. And he's already on the pit limiter, so he's made sure he's not going to pick up a 5-second penalty. So Spiffy should move up to 11th, but Spiffy's going to have to pit again. His softs are not going to make it to the end. And that was Purple Haze. That's the leader right behind him. This is the closest battle. Chris has gotten around Jan. Jan's pitted. Jan's went to softs. I don't think that was the right move for Jan. He's going to have to make another pit stop. That's not going to get you to the end. So Chris moves up to 4th. That move, as we see debris everywhere. Spiffy is retired from the race. So that tells me Spiffy is wrecked at turn what? Turn 9. As this car's disabled there on the inside of the wall. So I think that's the third guy that's gotten bit by turn 9 now. I can't tell if Trejo's back. Looks like he's back. Maybe. I'm not really for sure. This is, well, actually JP's got the close battle. His Tenny's off. He's in the gravel. Where are we at here? We are down at turn 6. Skid gets a 3-second time penalty for corner cutting. I don't know if he cut turn 1 or turn 2. I'm not for sure, but he picks up 3 seconds. I'd say Chris messed up too. Chris is wrecked. Chris is wrecked at turn 1. Turn 1 and 2. He's got no front wing. Well, he's got a front wing, but he's missing the end plate off the left-hand side. JP sets fast lap as Pat comes into the pits. As Pat pits, puts on hards. So he's going to the end. So Jan's gonna have to pit again. Loki's gonna have to pit again. Pasco's gotten around Chris. Well, this is the closest battle. It's Purple Haze. Oh, Purple Haze is in the pits for another set of mediums. So we'll see where he comes out at. Should come out in third, but he's gonna be flying to catch Pat. Jan's just now coming down the straight front stretch. Yep. Vic picks up a 3-second time penalty. Vic's 0.3 of a second behind Lemieux. And no move. The Williams on the racing point. Well, it kind of shoves him. Is that rain I see? Is that rain? Trejo dives to the pit lane and puts enters back on again. That might be rain I see. It looks like I see it's spitting rain. Wow, we got a whole new race now. As Chris is pitted for mediums, and I see rain on the lens. So, Trejo is the first one to pull the trigger, but I think he's actually a lap down. So, we'll see. Does Pat pull the trigger yet? Skid? Nope. Purple Haze? Nope. Jan, does he pull the trigger and go to inters? Is it raining that much? Or is it not enough yet? Not enough yet. Loki, does he pull the trigger and go to inters? Ooh, that was a little bit of a corner cut there. Maybe got a warning. Let's go doesn't pull the trigger. Does JP? See, is it raining enough? No. Does Chris pull the trigger? Who's going to be the first one? Lemieux's pitted, but he's one on mediums. Chris doesn't pit. We'll see if Pat pits. Pat stays out. Who's going to be the first one to risk going to inters? Besides Trejo. Trejo thinks it's raining too hard already and it's inter time. Whoa! I don't think it's time for inters yet as he's sliding around. It looks like he's on a skating rink out there. So we got Pat still in the lead. Skid. And we got Purple Haze. Jan's going to have to pit again. Loki's going to have to pit again. Chris has already pitted again. So, it's pretty much just to see who's going to make the first move of going to inters if they think it's too wet out. So with 11 laps to go, we're pretty much, everyone's got a gap now, and it's pretty much just holding steady here. So we'll go back to the leader, since everyone's kind of just running along. It's pretty much, I think everybody's waiting to see who's going to be the first person to make the move to inters, is the way it looks. Like, I don't see no wet stuff coming off the cars yet, so it tells me the track's not dry enough, or not wet enough, I mean, to go to inters. It's still dry. Still got tons of grip. Jan has pitted. Jan's went to inters. What does Loki go to? Treo has retired, so that tells me Treo was still sliding around on those enters. And Loki goes to enters also. Even though it shows him with softs on, he's went to enters. So that's a game glitch. JP goes by the Alfa Romeo. So now we're gonna have to see what Jan's running for enters here. If he's making good time, has Pat made the move? We'll see if does Pat decide to dive in and get off these hards? He does not. What about Skid? Does he decide to make that move and jump off the mediums? Boy, his medium's looking worn. Nope. Eteni dives in pit lane. He's in 10th. So is he going to enters? He think it's too wet now? He taking on the enters. Comes in. The Renault guys go to enters and a front wing change on top of that. So his teammate moves up on the hards. Vic should get by him. Vic gets by him. Where's the Shmew? Nope. Won't get by him. So. And the leaders go around again. We'll see if Pat decides to pit. Jan has lost 5th to JP. So. Loki's lost 7th to Chris. On those mediums. So it doesn't look like the track's fast enough for those enters just quite yet. Purple Haze has caught Skid for second here. So he's ran Skid down. Which he should have, because Skid is on really old mediums. 17 laps. Those tires are begging to be taken off. Ooh! As you seen Purple Haze hit that big sausage curve and it sent him up on 2 wheels. Skid's in the pits. So now, what does Skid go to? Does he go to enters or does he go to softs? What does he pull out? What's Mercedes pull out? They pull out another set of mediums. So he's thinking it's staying dry. And this rain looks like it's getting heavier and heavier. And I'm almost thinking it's time to go to enters here. But Pat's still on hard, so I guess he's thinking, I got an 8-second lead. Why would I want to pit 8.9 as he's gained on Purple Haze? Pat's pretty much sitting in the driver's seat. But the rain, to me, is really coming down. I can't believe that these guys haven't started to all jump on the enters. We got 3 guys on enters. Everybody else is on medium and hard. Oh, as you see, Chris really have to get out of it. Oh, yeah, I'd say it's time to switch over to enters. By the way, Chris is driving that Williams. It's not looking too steady, and Pat decides to stay out. What does Purple Haze do? Does he think it's time for enters? He does not. Skid, we know he just pitted. He came back out on mediums. But I think that might have been the wrong decision. We'll see. Does he decide to dive it down pit road again? Nope, he stays out. Let's go. Ooh, I thought he was heading for pit road, but he stayed out. I'm surprised these guys, no one's made the move. No one has pulled the trigger. Will Chris pull the trigger on these mediums? Nope. Let's see if Jan is gaining on Chris. This is a telltale sign if Jan's gaining on him or if he's losing time. He is losing time, so the track's still too dry for those enters. And this is just a gaming glitch because Loki does not have softs on. He's got enters. Pat, he's in ghost mode, and he's sitting in 9th spot right now, so. John's sitting in 10th on hards as the overcooked turn 10. Vic's on 17 lap old hards. I would imagine Vic's going to come in. He should be coming in any time and putting on either enters. Purple Haze, he's hit the pits. Purple Haze hit the pits and he got a 5-second penalty on top of that. What's he think? Is it time for enter? Yeah, he's going. He put mediums back on. He put 14 lap old mediums. I think that was a mistake. I think that was a mistake. It was either a mistake or it's a gaming glitch. I don't see why you would put 14 lap old medium tires back on your car. We'll see what he does if he pits again. But Pat's got a 28-second lead over Skid now on these hards. And I am afraid Purple Haze just made a huge mistake and pitted and didn't pick the right tires for choice. As Jan's picked up a 10-second penalty for corner cutting. As Jan's in the pits. I don't know what Jan did. I don't know if he skipped the... And now he gets another 5 seconds on top of that for speeding. What's he going to? Is he going to... He's going to softs. Okay, he's going to softs. Pat's pitted behind him. What's Pat go on? Pat's sitting in neutral. Pat hits pit lane in neutral. So the top 6 are all on dry tires. And Pat thinks it's too wet out. He goes the enters. So Pat thinks it's enter time. He's the first one to pull the... Well, Loki was actually the first one to pull it. Well, Jan was actually the first one. Loki fouled him. And then Pat pulled the trigger. What's John think? Purple Haze is in again. So that was a... he picked the wrong tires. So now what's he go to? And he's going to serve his 5-second penalty. And he goes to softs. So he puts on fresh softs. So Plaxco moves up to 3rd. JP moves up to 4th. And it looks like we have our... Does Chris decide it's finally time to go to inters? With 6 laps to go. Well, no. 5 laps to go, excuse me. 5 laps to go. Chris goes to inters. So now we'll see what Chris can do. Loki's going to get by Chris. As there goes Loki by. Chris comes out in 7th. So we'll see what Chris can do on these fresh inters. Can he catch Loki and get 6th back? Well, the top 5 guys... Oh, we got JP. He's around. I would say it's too wet for dries, boys. I'd say it's time to come in and put on inters. This could help Loki as he's on inters already. Who was that just was going to the wall? That was JP again. JP's having all kinds of problems. Pat's pitted and put on inters. So Pat's finally made the switch and put on inters. Skid just came in and put on enters. What does Plaxco do? Plaxco comes in. He goes to enters also. So these guys all making the switch to enters now. So it finally got too wet out for these guys. And they switch to enters. Purple Haze stays out on softs. He looks extremely slow as John goes blowing by him. John's on enters. Jan's on softs. JP's hit pit lane. He's going to enters. Loki's still on enters. Chris is 2.8 seconds. Well, I don't know how many seconds. We got to let timing and scoring get caught up here. As that's... Who's that just came out of the pits? Oh, that was Vic. DRS is enabled. Vic, he came out on hards. Wrong tire choice. Lemashu came out on full wets. I don't know about that choice either. It seems like that might be the wrong choice. Intinity's on soft still. Where is... Loki's got to be catching Purple Haze. Yeah, he's catching Purple Haze at a rapid pace. And Chris is catching Loki at a rapid pace too. As they're going to see the Red Bull. And Loki decided not to throw it in there. Chris gets by Purple Haze. Purple Haze had the dominant car for about 3/4 of this race. And he made one mistake, put the wrong tires on. I actually made two mistakes. He went back, put mediums on. I think when he wanted to put inters on, had to come back down. He put softs on, and now he's got to try to somehow make it back to pit road and put inters on. Here comes JP. He's catching his teammate Jan and Purple Haze. Purple Haze and Jan on these softs struggling. JP's gonna see that while he's on inters. And Purple Haze gets a 10-second penalty for corner cutting, as he's just put it in first gear and ran around in first gear. Vic gets a 3-second time penalty. Purple Haze, I'm hoping you selected inters this time. And he did not. He put softs back on. Vic is hit pit road. So I'm hoping Vic selected inters. Purple Haze has left the session. Purple Haze is furious with himself. He's just giving up. Pat has lost. Pat is in the pits again. Pat has broke his front wing. Skid's got the lead. Pat put inters on. I don't understand what happened to... So Skid's got the lead with 2 laps to go. I understand the rain's coming down heavy, but Pat, you should have just stayed out as... Whoa. Oh, Pat's got front wing damage. He wrecked somewhere. Okay, that makes sense. He pitted, and they didn't put... Wow, he's lost quite a bit of that left side of the front wing. That's why he pitted. And by doing that, he's... Boy, the rain has thrown everybody for a loop today. Jan's still out there on these softs. I cannot believe he has not wrecked that Ferrari on these softs. And he's setting 7th. Can't believe no one has caught him. John's catching Purple Haze. John gets by Purple Haze. Is Purple Haze going to finish in the top 10 even though he's on softs? So you got Skid, who's 19 seconds ahead of Pat. You got Plasko, who's looked like he was catching Pat. And you got Loki, who's in 4th. You got Chris in 5th as he gets around the Red Bull. And we got a McLaren in the background there. That would be Pat, who's off at turn 9. Meanwhile, Skid has started the final lap. So we'll go on board with the leader on his final lap here. As he comes through nice and easy. He's got a 21.8 second lead over second place. Purple Haze has dropped down to 10th. Purple Haze has hit the pits. Purple Haze has hit the pits. Please tell me Purple Haze picked inters this time. He has. And he's got a 10-second time penalty. Where's Vic at? Vic's right there. Where's the leader at? Leader's ahead of Vic. So if Pat or Purple Haze can come out of the pits before Vic, then Purple Haze should get that 10th and final point. We got a yellow flag in Sector 2. Still got a yellow flag. McTinney's wrecked. Must be up turn 9. As Skid comes down and takes the victory here at Spain. So this has been a crazy race, as the rain has thrown a curveball or a changeup, whatever you want to call it, through these guys for a loop. Pat comes around the final corner, nice and... Oh, Plasko's underneath him! Plasko's going to get him for second! Pat finishes third at the line. Wow, what a race for second. Loki's going to come home fourth. Chris will come home fifth. JP, nice and easy through there. He should come home sixth. John comes home eighth. Vic's 11th. Leshamu comes home 12th. JP comes home 6th. So Jan should come home 7th. And Purple Haze, who's still running in first gear, should come home 7th. And Purple Haze should come home 10th. As Jan stayed on softs through the entire set of rain. He had to work some overtime on that. But that was a good Spanish Grand Prix. Well done to Skid on his first victory of the season. And congratulations to Plasko for getting Pat at the end, off turn 16. The final corner to get second. But the points leader will extend his points lead on second place. And I don't know if Chris moves up in front of Kev there for second on the points. We'll see. I'm not really for sure. Maybe they might be close, really close, or even tied. But that was a really good race, guys. And next week is Monaco, the dreaded street course, the Jewel event, the pride and joy of the Monaco Grand Prix. So, with that being said, we will see you next week in Monaco at 7 p.m. again here on Lys Esports F1. This has been Jacob's Motorsports with your commentary again tonight, and we'll see you guys next Sunday night for round 6. Thank you and have a good night, guys.